Hello there, people with the internet, and hello again. I am TheMBmulti, and welcome back to my Doki Doki Purist Mod Let's Play series. I'm on the main menu now because I wanted to show that apparently Sayori has shown up on the main menu. So my theory so far is correct, that the girls start showing up one by one when I start picking their routes one by one. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, let's actually play the actual game. 5 hours have passed since Sayori fell asleep. The festival is coming to a close and I'm starting to feel numb from sitting like a statue in the cold wind. The smell of food is torturing my hungry stomach. But despite my discomfort, I haven't stood up once. I promised I'd wait for Sayori, and I would make good on that promise. Besides, while waiting for her, I got a lot of time to think about my situation. Our situation. I read all sorts of online articles about depression as well. That should suffice. Soon I hear a low murmur from my side, and I look down to see Sayori slowly opening her eyes. Morning, or well, good afternoon I guess. Upon seeing me, she breathes out a reassuring sigh. You're still here. I decide to humor her. Sorry if you're expecting someone better. She laughs and notices I put my jacket over her to keep her from getting cold. Don't say that, you're better than anyone I know. I'm sorry I made you wait so long. Don't worry about it. Was your nap good? She nods. How long was I asleep? 5 hours. And you sat here this whole time? I pat her head and stroke her hair to the side. It's not like I had anything better to do. Besides, it felt good to be useful to someone for once. I realize this is getting awkward again. Maybe a joke would lighten the mood. That, and what guy wouldn't want a cute girl resting on them? You think I'm cute? Nope, that only made the awkwardness increase tenfold. Despite me having lost any kind of feeling in my face a few hours ago, I feel my cheeks flare up. Anyway, why don't we get going? She throws me a perplexed look. Did you forget? I told you I'd take you to someplace nice when you woke up. You're paying though. I waited for so long that I think I'll faint from hunger soon. Haha, fair enough. Sayori yawns and rubs her eyes again. That was the most comfortable nap I've ever had. I'm glad to hear that, Sayori. She hums as she returns my jacket to me and gets up. I tried to get up, only to find out my legs have fallen asleep due to her resting her head on my knees while she slept. Sayori, noticing this, is quick to lend me a helping hand, and for the second time today, I lean on her for support as I walk. Neither of us says anything for a while, though I occasionally hear a low humming sound coming from her. When we stop near the road to wait for the cars to pass by, I look into her eyes and see that they're filled with more vitality than ever. Just how many demons does she keep inside herself? Just as the sun began to set, we found a nice little cafe on the side not too far away from our homes. Hey, this is the cafe I went to with, I believe it was also Sayori, in Blue Skies. I believe. Unlimited stacked pancakes. Wow. All you can eat every morning, or does it say Monday? Yeah, I believe I've been here before in this cafe. I believe it was in Blue Skies, but I could be completely misremembering that. We sit down at an empty table once we're inside. Sayori seems to have cheered up compared to how she was yesterday. Wow, I'm honestly surprised, Mark. About what? I didn't know there was such a nice cafe near where we lived. It's funny, I've walked past here every time we go home from school, but I never even bothered to look. I shrug and laugh sheepishly. Yeah, I found it by accident one day. I was bored, hungry, and didn't want to bother making food. So I overheard some girls at school mention some really cheap cafe near where I live. Also, I appreciate the fact that they actually put the little accent on the E for cafe. So Yuri casts her eyes downward. Oh, is that so? Is something the matter? She shakes her head and returns to her old cheery self. Nope, not at all. I'm just thinking about what to order here. What are you in the mood for? She shrugs. And I have to itch my ear. There we go. I think I'll have whatever you have. Come on, I'm kinda curious about your taste. Huh? How come? Whenever you came over to visit, you always ate whatever I wanted. It's the same story whenever I come to visit you. So I want today to be all about you. That's why I'll order whatever you decide to order. Sayori laughs at my remark. I can tell from her expression that she is happy that I'm taking an interest in her taste. Are you sure? I nod silently. In that case, before I can stop her, she moves the chair next to me and opens the cafe's menu. Let's order something together and split it. Right, like when I want to make... Like I want more people to mistake us for a couple today. On the other hand, when I look at how happy she seems when she reads aloud every item on the cafe's menu list, I feel like I can't deny her. It'd be wrong, so I decide to play along with her. Alright, let's do that. That sounds fun. Yay! I was so worried you'd tell me it's a silly idea, but I thought it was kinda cute. Truth be told, I don't mind sharing a meal with her. This isn't like one of those situations you see in anime where two people actually go on a date without realizing it, is it? Of course not. I mean, can you believe how awkward that would be? Besides, I'm not dating material anyway. Hey, don't say that. I noticed how at least a few guys in my class were staring at you when you read your poem. Yeah, but I don't think I could handle the stress. It's okay, Mark. I've already come to terms with the fact that I'll likely stay single forever. But if I can't be happy, I at least want to devote my life to making others happy. I think then their happiness would shine on me. She claps her hands together and smiles. For some reason, however, her comment made me a little sad. It's not fair. She notices the concern in my eyes and shakes her head. Anyway, that's enough sob stories for one dinner. Let's order up. Alright, what do you want? Ooh, how does pizza sound? Pizza, huh? Isn't that a pretty large dish? We're both pretty hungry, and also if we split it in half, then it should be just enough to handle... for us to handle without overeating. That's a good idea. Waiter! Sayori returns to her seat, and we make casual small talk while waiting for our meal. We then gulp up slices of pizza. We gulp the slices of pizza down like a pair of hungry wolves. Even though I'm clearly hungrier than her, Sayori finishes her share so fast that I'm left wondering if she has a black hole in place of a stomach. Her metabolism is clearly better than mine, since she barely breaks a sweat, while I'm left heaving for breath by the time I'm halfway done with my portion. She finds a slight amusement in my struggle, and eventually starts giving me a pep talk to motivate me to finish. After an hour, my epic battle with the pizza comes to an end. You did it! I'm so proud of you! I'm too exhausted to reply, and merely give her a weak half-hearted thumbs up. I never would have made it without your pep talk. You make a great coach someday. I wheeze before gulping down the glass of water. Thanks. Her eyes then light up and she clasps her hands together. How about we go to the park after school tomorrow? It's beautiful there. We'd be doing an activity together and we could work on your poor condition. Since, no offense, but I've seen old men with better stamina than you. I laugh at her snarky comment. Sure, that sounds fun. Huh, really? I was just teasing you. I know you don't want that. Actually, I do. That sounds like a fun activity we could do together. Besides, you're right. I think I could do with some exercise. And without you cheering me on just now... I don't think I'd have found the strength to finish that pizza. Okay, then it's settled. Let's meet up after school tomorrow and go to the park. Ooh. Seeing that we've both finished our meals, the waiter comes over to ask us if we're ready to pay. Yeah, she's paying. Yeah, I'm paying. We'll split the bill. I mean, my heart says pay the bill, but technically this isn't a date, as they claim themselves. And we did say that Sayori would be paying. I don't know. My gut instinct just says to pay. Are you sure? I promise I'd pay for the meal. Don't sweat it. I was joking when I said that I wanted you to pay. I don't know why, but for some reason I'm a little disappointed. I wanted to pay. I can't always rely on you for everything after all. Her voice sounds pretty upset, a far cry from her regular self. I really wish you'd stop doing me all these favors without asking me. It doesn't feel right when I can never repay your kindness. Alright, so this was the wrong choice, I guess. Am I patronizing her? Nevertheless, I take out my wallet and pay the full price of the meal. Right, well, if I end up on the bad ending, then I know which choice to change. We grab our coats off the chairs and bags before... We grab our coats off the chairs and bags... Oh, yeah. We grab our coats and bags off the chairs before we start walking home. It's then we see that we spent so much time chatting away that evening fell over the town, even if we were outside. It's kind of chilly in the evening. She then looks at me with a focused gaze in her eyes. Alright, isn't today the release day of that manga you've been anticipating? If you leave me now and run to the store, you can still buy it before the store closes. While the thought is tempting, I can tell Sayori is tired. Besides, I can't leave her now in good conscience. My hobbies can wait until tomorrow. No, it's fine. Let's hurry home before we catch a cold. I'll walk you back. I see Sayori's cheeks redden a bit. Thanks. Truth be told, I'm a little scared of going home alone at night. Same here. Plus, I'm beat. I got to rest. I walk her all the way back to her house doorstep. Well, here we are. I had fun with you today, Sayori. It was fun for me as well, Mark, because you were with me. Before I can reply, she hugs me tightly. Thank you for making this a day I'll never forget. I hug her back, feeling her warmth. I should thank you as well. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Sweet dreams. Good night. We break apart and I feel like I want to say something to her, but I can't quite find the words. Having wished her a good night, I leave her and go back home. For some reason I still feel cold. I keep shaking even when I lie down into my bed. I don't have much time to dwell on it, however, because I fall asleep like a light bulb that's been turned off. After a painful night full of nightmares, I wake up in cold sweat and my body feels like it's been battered by pro fighters all day long. I try to inhale, but my throat feels like it's been ground with sandpaper. Oh crap, why now? I cough violently and feel drained of energy. I rest my head against the pillow and try to open my eyes, but my eyelids feel incredibly heavy. This is bad. I promised Sayori I'd spend the day with her. As it stands, I don't even have the strength to reach out to my phone and call her. Even so, she needs to know, or she'll wait for me all day. I don't need to be a genius to know how badly she will take it if I don't show up without an explanation. I try to force my body to move enough to reach my phone, but it's futile. I feel weak and tired. Even so, I have to force myself to bear the cold pain. I crawl like an oversized caterpillar to the edge of my bed and slap the phone down into my bedside, where it lands in my right hand. I quickly select Sayori from my contacts list and call her. Before long, I hear her cheerful but sleepy voice on the other end. Mark, are you alright? It's still early morning. I'm sorry if I woke you. I cough violently again. Oh dear, that sounds awful. Don't worry about me. I'm sure it's just a cold. Is there anything I can do to help you? I'm just calling to say that... My coughing is so bad that I don't even get a chance to finish my sentence before my finger slips and accidentally makes me end the call. Crap. My phone's almost dead as well. At this rate, it'll run out of battery if I try to call her again. I close my eyes and feel another nightmare enveloping me. In it, I see Sayori standing on the school rooftop, tears streaming down her face. She takes a step forward and... I reach out to her and grab her by the arm before she can jump off. Whoa, Jesus. Just as I do, black mist covers everything and the scene distorts. My eyes open and I'm filled with anxiety. Oh, I'm in Sayori's bedroom now. My eyes struggle to stay open for much longer. They close again and I see Sayori sitting on the floor of her room, covering her face with her hands and crying loudly. In the dream, I try to walk up to her, only to find myself unable to move. I try calling out to her, but my voice is gone. Eventually, she gets up and shows me her face, to reveal a pair of red eyes that burn with hatred for me failing her all these years. Just as she lunges at me with screams that she detests me for neglecting her for years, the dream distorts and changes again. The TV static. Oh, we got the creepy noise, I mean. But it's not repeated, at least. I find myself alone in darkness. All I can hear is my own heartbeat. Then suddenly I see Sayori walking towards me, asking me why I never supported her when she suffered and why I only lived for myself. She then starts repeating the word why over and over again, before the voice magnifies and duplicates. Until there's an entire choir asking me why I was such a terrible friend to her. I'm sorry. I hear myself pleading with the voices, but they don't let up. They start accusing me, pointing to events in mine and Sayori's past, where I could have helped her if only I knew her condition at the time. Please forgive me. The voices are unfazed and say I don't deserve her kindness. I wake up completely drenched in cold sweat. It seems like the shock of the last dream caused me to finally wake up. I feel tears running down my face and my entire body keeps switching between burning hot and freezing cold. As I breathe in relief for a moment and think about how horrible my predicament was, I realize that all my dreams were exclusively about me and Sayori. It's then that I hear the sound of 2 footsteps down below. Cold horror grabs me as I realize that I forgot to lock the door last night before crashing into bed. So here there's at least an explanation as to why people, or how people show up in my house. In other mods, then they just appeared out of thin air or teleported inside. The footsteps are coming closer. Whoever my intruder may be, they are clearly coming towards me. I know I'm defenseless in my current condition. There's no hope for me to escape either. I see my doorknob turning. My heart is beating furiously as I try to come up with a means of escape. It's then that I hear a familiar voice call out to me. Mark? I sigh in relief as I see Sayori enter my room, carrying a tray with some tea. Sayori? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to enter your house without asking you, but luckily you forgot to lock the door last night. I only blink at her in confusion. Did I startle you? I'm sorry if I did. I shake my head and she sighs in relief. Just, what are you doing here? How? Why? I was worried about you. You sounded quite sick. Sayori? As I look at her, my head is overwhelmed with all kinds of thoughts and feelings. Please don't tell me to leave. I won't. I clench my fist. I know that she speaks the truth. Even if I had the strength to force her anyway. If I had the strength to force her away. I know Sayori can be stubborn as a mule when she wants to. I've already called Monika and your homeroom teacher too, telling them both you're sick. Come to think of it, I noticed that she's not in her school uniform. She seems to have made the decision to skip school today to take care of me. And what about you? Won't you get an absence? Don't worry about me. I lied and told them I was feeling sick as well. Why? I want to be with you. You have nobody to take care of you, right? Yeah. Then it's settled. Just like you won't abandon me because of my condition, I won't leave you until you've recovered. Please go home. I don't want you to get sick as well. No can do. Besides, I won't get sick. I just have to believe that really hard and I'll be a-okay. And, well, taking care of you makes me happy. I don't know whether it's from my temperature or my awkwardness at the situation, but I feel my cheeks turning red hot. I appreciate it, Sayori. I'm a lucky guy to have such a great friend like you. Sayori says nothing, but she seems to appreciate the compliment. Let's not joke around now. Just trust me. I'll make you feel better. She walks over to me, sits down on a chair near my bed and puts her hand on my forehead. Okay. She gently begins running her fingers down my neck. I see. Sayori? She sighs. Thank goodness. Hello, Earth to Sayori. She snaps out of her trance and sighs. You have a fever, but it doesn't seem all too serious. Give it a few days and you'll be back to normal. I throw her a heavy, confused look and keep opening and closing my mouth like a dazzled carp. I just read a lot of books about medicine when I'm alone. Because of, I nod without saying anything. Anyway, just drink this for now. She pours some tea into a cup and hands it to me. It's hot to the touch and I nearly drop it as soon as I take hold of it. Eventually I manage to pour the liquid into my lips and gulp down a few sips. This is really tasty. No sooner do I speak up than a horrible burning notion fills my throat. I cough violently and spill the tea all over my bedsheets. Fire! There's a fire in my throat! I'm sorry, did I make it too strong? I merely nod. What the heck did you put in it? Well, the book said that ginger tea works when you have a sore throat, so I looked through the fridge and found a bunch of ginger. I feel nervous sweat running down my back. Fear grips me as I realize what she did. How much of that did you put in this tea? An entire root? Even though I'm in clear pain, I know that Sayori only wanted to help. The problem is that I was planning to throw the ginger away since it was past its expiration date. Sayori realizes that she made a mistake, and I can see her smile slowly fading, and that her eyes are starting to darken. I'm sorry, I tried to help, but of course I messed it up. She speaks in a much lower, harsher tone than I've ever heard before. Well, I appreciate it nonetheless. Mark, I'm sorry, maybe I should leave. I only made this worse. As she's about to get up, I grab her hand. This gesture surprises her enough to make her hesitate, and I see her look down on me with an indescribable look in her eyes. Please don't leave. My voice is barely stronger than a whisper at this point. Why? I'm just a nuisance. She also lowers her voice and bites her lip to prevent herself from crying again. I tried to help you, but I only made you feel worse, like always. I shake my head. Mark, I want you to stay. Even if I'm useless? Even if I can't help you, since I know almost nothing about how to treat illnesses and am so clumsy that I somehow ended up making things worse? I try to nod. Yes. The day's only just begun, we can still make it great. Sayori gasps and sits down. I look up, and judging from her expression, my words seem to have struck a chord in her heart. You can help me, just like I can help you. She says nothing. She's clearly in deep thought. Sayori? How can I help you, Mark? Well, for starters, I need some painkillers, but I can't get up. I've fallen, and I can't get up! But more than that, I hear that people recover faster when they're happy. Oh, right, sorry. She dashes off after I describe to her where to find the painkillers and returns less than a minute later with a glass of water and the medicine. After I gulp it down, to douse the fire in my chest and ease my overall pain, I lie down. Neither of us speak, but even with my eyes closed, I can feel that Sayori keeps her gaze locked on me. All of a sudden, she breaks the silence. I'm sorry if I got all negative there. I really don't know what came over me. It's just like this voice in my head keeps telling me I'm useless and worthless whenever I mess up. I turn to face her, smile weakly, and stroke her hand with my fingers. And we've just got to make it shut up. If you can't do anything against it, I'll give it a go when I get better. Why? Why are you doing this? Why not? I could ask you the same thing right now. Why didn't you head to school when you heard I was sick? You're my best friends. How could I let you suffer alone? I know that you have nobody else to take care of you right now. I nod. Wouldn't you say you deserve the same kind of treatment? Sayori falls silent. Sayori? I don't know. I really don't know. Do I really deserve that? What do you mean? She seems to have a hard time finding the courage to put her feelings into words. You know you can tell me anything. I don't know if I'm ready to tell you yet. It sounds like she's in pain. Whatever is the reason for her mindset seems to be really personal to her. But on the other hand, this might be my only chance to find out the root of her problem. If I could learn what made her think this way, I could do something to help her. However, Sayori might break under pressure. I can see she wants to tell me, but... Oh, Jesus. I'd say don't push yourself. You can tell me when you're ready. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't trust you, and I know you, of all people, deserves to know, but I silently nod. I won't deny that I want to know, but you look really uncomfortable. This is clearly important to you, and I don't want you to force yourself to confess it if you feel like you're not ready. I can and will wait, because I'm serious about wanting to help you. But for that to happen, I need to know why you think you have no worth. Thanks, I really appreciate it. She sighs and shakes her head again. I wish this wasn't so unfair. I'm not going anywhere, Sayori. I know. I promise, I'll tell you when I'm ready. I feel my painkillers taking effect and my vision is getting blurry. So the medicine is starting to take effect? Yeah. Good. Take a nap. I'll wait for you to wake up. Maybe then I'll have the courage to tell you. Her voice grows more and more distant as my fatigue catches up to me and drags me into a dreamless sleep. Before long I start to hear two voices, a boy and a girl's. However, I see nothing, and the voices sound like they're old recordings that are played from a broken tape. Hey, what's wrong? Oh, it's nothing. Yeah? What happened to your knee? I fell. I bruised myself and my stuffed toy. Wow, its neck is broken. I thought it said your neck is broken. Like, oh, so casual. Sniffle. Hey, please don't cry. He was my only friend. Your only friend? Uh-huh. Now what am I going to do? Let's go. I think we can fix him. Really? No sooner do I become aware of the meaning of the voices than they fade away, leaving only static noise in their place. I wake up with a strangely pleasant nostalgic feeling in my chest. My fever feels slightly less severe and I feel enough energy to move my body around a little bit, though I'm still in pain. I look at my alarm clock. Judging from the time, I must have slept for a good 6 hours. I notice that Sayori is gone. Was it just a dream that she came over to take care of me? No, it felt way too real to be a dream. As I wonder about the validity of my memories, I hear extremely loud off-key singing coming from downstairs, followed by a loud crash that can only mean one thing. Sayori is trying to cook. Oh god. The end is nigh. The singing soon becomes even louder and I realize that she's on her way. I rise up and smile at her as she enters the room. Oh, you're up. How are you feeling? Compared to how I felt this morning, I feel a lot better. I'm so happy to hear that. Sayori is practically beaming from the news as she sits down on the chair next to me. You looked really peaceful in your sleep. Yeah, I had a nice dream. I don't really remember the details though. That's good to hear. What's up? She takes a deep breath. About what I said before you went to sleep? I've been thinking and I want you to know. Even if I'm scared, but I know I can't keep running away from my problems. You're not alone, Sayori. There's nothing that can make me change my mind. Well, this is going to be a long story. Don't fall asleep, okay? I'll be really upset if you do. Don't worry, I'm wide awake as you can see. She nods in acknowledgement and looks for words before she begins. I've always thought that I couldn't really matter. After all, how can somebody matter more than others? Aren't we all the same? You probably know this by now, but I never really had any friends when I grew up, until I met you, that is. I remember you were always afraid I'd leave you behind, or something like that. She nods. Yes, well, I've always been aware of how selfish people are. It's wrong that so many people just live for themselves, even though we call it a society. We live in a society. I don't want to be like that. I want to make other people happy, especially those who suffer. Is that why you got so attached to me when we were kids? I won't deny it's at least part of the reason, or it was at first anyway. Wanting to help others is fine, but sadly, I didn't think about how the selfish people would treat me. No matter how much I tried to help them, they weren't satisfied. They wanted more. Worse, when I was done helping them back up, they'd often leave me behind. She suppresses a sob and wipes her tears away. Eventually I started to get tired. They never showed any gratitude, and once they saw any signs of weakness in me, they'd turn against me. None of my friends cared enough to to think about how much it hurts to always smile and stay positive every day. But if I didn't, they'd leave me. They'd spread rumors. They'd shut me out of their lives. That's why, before she could finish, I gather my strength and hug her tightly. Mark, I'm not like those people, Sayori. I'd never exploit you for your kindness, and more importantly, I pull slightly away from her, just enough to see her face. I will never betray you like that. Her voice lowers down to a whisper. Mark, even if I'm your only friend, you're not alone. I'm about to say something else when I realize our faces are only inches away from each other, just a little closer and we'd be kissing. Sayori notices this too and looks away in embarrassment. We break apart with both of us apologizing at the same time. I lie down again and she continues her story. That's why I was so afraid to tell you, or anyone else. As for why I feel like I'm worthless, it's like there's some voice in my head telling me that if I don't satisfy everyone, I don't deserve anything good. But you know that's not true. I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. I don't know if it was a good idea for me to ask you to join the literature club. I don't know if it was a good idea for me to tell you. I don't know. I'm so scared of losing you. You won't lose me. You don't understand. Even if you're here with me, you'll just end up finding someone. Finding someone? What is she? I shouldn't feel this way. Like, it's wrong. It's not wrong. Sayori, I've gotten so used to always being left behind or exploited. I can't even imagine a happy future. I don't deserve it. You deserve happiness. You won't be exploited or left behind. I really admire you. It takes guts to keep smiling after all you've gone through, and still keep helping people. But you need to realize how much you're worth to me, Sayori. You're the only reason I've made it this far. An idea suddenly forms in my head. You remind me of a certain character in an anime that I really love and admire. Do you want to watch it with me? Okay, if that's what makes you happy. I nod and ask her to leave the room while I change out of my pajamas. 5 minutes later I call her back in and find the DVD in my drawer. She puts it in the TV and we start watching. The heroine of the anime is very much like Sayori. She is selfless to a fault. She's selfless to a fault, but keeps getting into trouble all the time because of it. Much like Sayori, she tries to face all her enemies alone, and while she succeeds in overcoming many of them, the final trial is impossible to solve alone. She nearly dies as despair overcomes her, but finally, her friends reach out to her and help her realize how much she is truly worth. Wow, that's the perfect anime for Sayori. The heroine ends up becoming a stronger person and overcoming the final enemy in the series, a being formed from humanity's despair. By the time we finish watching the anime, the sun has already gone down. Oh wow, we binge-watched that entire anime in one day. Unless there's only one season of 12 episodes, then it's doable. Even 2 seasons. I keep an eye on Sayori all throughout the anime. She clearly seems moved by the end. It's only when the final episode ends that she speaks up. Wow, she's so cool and strong. Indeed she is. She's someone I've idealized since I was a kid. I wish I could be like that. You already are. Few people are willing to go to such lengths to help their friends without asking for anything in return. You can't give up, because I'll be lost without my friends. But I don't want you to keep thinking you don't deserve my friendship. You deserve that and so much more. Please, Do you know why I respect that character so much? Because she's not afraid to be herself. She's a good person, and that's her main source of determination throughout the series. Yes, there will always be people who want to exploit you for your selfless kindness, but there will also be people who care about you and who love you for your actions. You're not worthless because you are doing so much to help. Not just to me, but the way you stopped Yuri and Natsuki from fighting the other day, and how you always try to be as kind as possible to everyone you meet. If someone acted that way towards you, would you go as far as to call them worthless as well? No, I wouldn't. I'd feel happy that they are so kind to me. That's how you make me feel, every day. Mark. She bites her lip and looks at my alarm clock. It's late. Maybe we should eat? I have to go soon. Sure, I'm getting hungry. I'm sorry if I made you feel awkward. Don't worry, I appreciate hearing that I'm not worthless to you. Sayori brings me a dinner that she made herself, and the two of us eat in silence. Once we're done eating, she wishes me a good night and returns home after promising to come back tomorrow. Somehow, having someone take care of me feels really nice. But could there be another reason for why I feel so warm inside of me when I think about her and how she came to take care of me? Could it be because of her and not just her gesture of kindness? I fail to find the answer before I fall asleep again. I think it's romantic feelings, my guy. Good morning, sleepyhead. Okay, so you broke into my house again because I still didn't lock the door, apparently. Alright, I think that's a good place as any to end it off. Alright, so they watched anime together and sort of tried to get through to Sayori about how, in my eyes, she's not worthless. Which she isn't, obviously. But neither is she to the others. I mean, we haven't really talked about the others of the Literature Club very much yet. But I'm fairly sure that they would also consider Sayori very much a friend of theirs, and they wouldn't want her to feel worthless at all. I mean, of course, they don't know, but, you know. Yeah, so I'll end it off here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later, Romans. Waleta.